What's up, guys? Today I've got another Battlefront video for you today. In this video I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks on how to fly better. Flying in Battlefront is a little bit different than Battlefield, and a lot of people have been struggling with it, so going to give some tips and tricks because I wasn't doing very well at first either. First tip I can give you is use the height of the skybox to your advantage. You can fly incredibly high up in this game, and people are not going to be expecting you to be engaging them from the top down, and also, people aren't going to be looking for you up there either, which is the biggest part. You can see people very clearly in this game. They're marked with a red dot, but people don't have their eyes up in the sky looking for you. But if you're flying at the typical flight level, they're going to be looking for you up there. So when all else fails, just fly up because you have much better vision up there and people aren't going to be looking for you up there. When I try to lose people, I go up in the sky because it's much easier to confuse people with no visible landmarks or things to go off of rather than just flying where people can. It's a lot easier to stay on somebody's tail if you have stuff to go by, whereas if you're doing upside down 360s in the sky and all you see is blue, it's a little bit more disorienting. After I kill this enemy pilot, you're going to see that somebody ends up sneaking up on me. You see him on my radar right now. He's off to the side of me, and now he's behind me. So what I'm going to do is pop my shield because he's locking onto me, go straight up, doing all kinds of spinning and curving, go back down, then go back up, then do a complete 180, go back down, and I lose him. Now, you still see him on my radars behind me, but he has no idea where I'm at. Then I'm going to engage this other pilot, lock onto him, lock on my blasters, take him out with the fucking quickness, and I still don't know where this enemy pilot is. I think he's right behind me, so gonna go back up, gonna start doing some crazy maneuvers again, gonna hit the skybox, do a 180, go back down, go back up, then go back down again, and I just mind fuck the shit out of him, get right behind him, lock on, take him out, he's fucking done. And I was very proud of myself with that. So use that height to your advantage. Use the fact that the blue skies and white backgrounds are incredibly disorienting. When you try to lose somebody on the ground, it is very hard, and that was a good little strafing run right there. I like that. I'm not very good at strafing yet and like killing ground targets in the sky or from the sky, so it's very rewarding. But use the fact that the sky is very disorienting, because in my opinion, losing people on the ground in this game is hard. It is very hard, and here I get a cheesy kill on somebody coming out of the spawn. That's something they need to fix. They need to fix the fact that you can't do anything when you first start flying, because you can just really, they're fish in a bucket, man. That guy came out, he could not move his ship for like 2 or 3 seconds. So they gotta fix that. One thing you'll see me doing quite a bit is focusing on ground vehicles whenever I see them. I believe you're at a huge advantage versus ground vehicles. In an aircraft, you just do so much damage and they don't know you're coming. And you can pretty much take out an ATST in one well-aimed burst from an aircraft. It is crazy how much damage these aircraft do to vehicles. So definitely focus down on those ATSTs. I'm not even doing a very good job at doing it right now, and I'm still doing very significant damage. And obviously, it also does an incredible amount of damage to the AT-ATs. And that guy rams into me. I could have barrel rolled off to the side, but I wasn't expecting him to turn like that and ram into me. End up picking up another A-Wing, melee this guy on my personal shield, and what I did right there is, when I popped my shield, and after I meleeed that guy, I was holding down my mouse button, and if you hold the mouse button down while you're in the shield, your character won't shoot until the shield goes down, but the second your shield goes down and you can shoot, it'll shoot instantly, so you're automatically going to win that reaction time test, because your guy automatically shoots when the shield goes down, and that guy has no idea when your shield is going down. So, little tip right there. Get another A-Wing, go straight up in the sky, and no one's on my tail. I instantly acquire a target, and this just shows you how good that is to do. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't do it. Maybe the meta will change, but I lock onto this dude for a long time, shoot my missiles, and they go straight into the fucking dirt. I do not know how the missile mechanics work, like the specifics of the missile mechanics and why they do and don't lock on sometimes. Occasionally, I'll YOLO a missile and like barely lock on, and it goes straight to the target. Other times, I'll lock on forever and hear the beeps beep real fast, like it's locked on nice and good, and they just go straight into the dirt. I can't explain it. So here's an example. I lock onto this guy, not for very long, shoot my missiles, boom, insta hit, take this guy out with the swiftness Boom, boom, boom. If anybody knows exactly how the missiles work, I'd like to know. But anyway, I am on a rampaging kill streak at this point. Coming up next is something I think was a very smart play. This enemy pilot's going to be taken out by my teammates, and I'm going to switch targets. And this guy does something I wasn't expecting. So I'm going to lock on my missile here, and he does a complete 180, low to the ground, and I wasn't going to be able to replicate what he just did. So rather than clumsily try to turn around and be all slow and not know where he was going, I decided to fly straight up in the air. That way I could lose him as well, and then, re-identify where he was, because, when you've got that top-down view, you can see where people are at. And I come back down on this guy, and it is much easier now that I know where he's at, and he doesn't know where I exactly came from. Just use that height, man. Use that skybox. It is the best tip I can give you, is just don't be afraid to use the sky. And I think I take him out right here. I finally catch him with some freestyle blaster bolts. I think I lead him here in a second. Maybe I hit him with the missile? No, I'm pretty sure I freestyle this guy, because when people are flying like this, the lock-on system does not work. So I shoot ahead of him, and he runs into the blaster bullets or lasers, whatever the terminology is. I end up running into another target that was pretty close by, and I'm sort of freestyling my blaster bolts here. You don't need to be very precise. I would recommend just spraying in the general direction they're going. And don't try to be too accurate with it. I know that sounds really weird to say, but just kind of like move your mouse around in that general direction. You'll see here in a second, I'm not being particularly accurate, and I take him out. So if you just hit him with even just a few blaster bolts you hit him with are enough to kill him. That's the real thing here. And I see an ATST on my radar and going for a strafing run. I'm going to go in for another strafing run here and take him out. Look at how much damage those blaster bolts do. It's crazy. So that's the thing. Don't try to be too accurate against enemy pilots. You don't need to be. You just don't need to be. This dude tries to rage quit on me. So this is something people were doing. If they knew they were going to lose the dogfight, they'd try and kill themselves so you wouldn't get the kill. But luckily, I kill that dude like a millisecond before he's about to hit the ground. So I like that. Fuck people that did that shit. This next dogfight is going to highlight how ineffective trying to lose people at the ground level is. The ships in this game are so maneuverable that going around objects and stuff like that just isn't that effective. And here, I cheeseball this guy pretty hard. He's coming out of the spawn, hit him with my lock-on missiles, and due to my inaccuracy here, he actually lives for a pretty good amount of time. So he's going to loop right here, and I'm going to easily mimic that, and he starts flying at ground level, and it's very easy for me to keep track of him. He's going through canyons, he's doing all the stuff you should do in a dogfight. At least you would think that, right? No, it's the ships in this game are so easily maneuverable that guy just quits. He just 9/11s himself into the fucking dirt, and the AT-ATs become vulnerable. Pay attention to how much damage that I do to these AT-ATs. Good rebel pilots can win you the game as the rebels, because if you've ever been on the ground shooting at those things, you don't get those damage scores that fast. The blaster bolts and missiles just do crazy damage. So there is a big emphasis on having good rebel pilots in this game, because you get that air superiority, you're taking out those ATSTs and doing crazy damage to the AT-ATs. You're set up to win if you can pull it off. Well, unfortunately, we lose because we weren't doing anything on the ground, but you see where I'm going from. Just that little clip right there just showed you how much damage you can do from the sky against ground vehicles. It's crazy. So let me know what you guys think, if this video helped you. I was not very good at flying at first. I could have sent my gameplay into Al-Qaeda and they would have given me the job. I was awful at flying in this game. So I hope my tips helped you out, and I'll see you guys next time.